Hi friends, and welcome to Pacific Northwest Outreach. Today I want to talk to you about a great trip, an outreach trip that I took just last week to the Nez Perce Reservation over in Idaho, a little community called Lapwai, which is just east of Lewiston. And if you're familiar with that part of the country, you know that Lewiston and Clarkston sit side by side, one in Washington State, one in Idaho, and of course that is to remind us of the great Lewis and Clark expedition. And when you think about the Nez Perce and you think about Lewis and Clark, they go together as you remember your American history. The Nez Perce tribe were very kind to the Lewis and Clark expedition years ago when they came through the mountains, and they were pretty much done at that time. They were eating their horses and eating their dogs to try to stay alive, and the Nez Perce were very kind-hearted, and they actually fed Lewis and Clark and the expedition salmon and camas bread. And if it wasn't for the Nez Perce, Lewis and Clark probably would not have continued and been successful getting all the way to the Pacific and Fort Clatsop. But my trip last week was to the same group, the same tribe, the Nez Perce, and we've been going there for a number of years and helping them in a physical way and a spiritual way. It's been a great experience for us. And every time I go there, I'm thankful for the opportunity of combining not only with the pastor and the community leaders, tribal leaders there on the reservation, but to be able to have an impact helping the Nez Perce tribe, the community, the reservation with food and with household supplies, and in this case, a tremendous load of water. That's right, water. We were given from one of our donors a large, in fact a truckload full of bottled water. Think of a wooden pallet that's 4 feet by 4 feet square, and then stack bottled water on that at 5 feet high, and then multiply that by 22 pallets. That's a lot of bottled water. And initially when it came to us, I thought, what are we going to do with all of this water? And then I realized we're at the time of the year when tribes, reservations are getting ready for powwow and camp meeting and a lot of activities in the summertime, and the reservations always are asking for water. And so I thought, well, I'm going to take some of that water over to the Nez Perce and bless them. So we loaded up a trailer, put some groceries on, put some boots. We talked about that before, how popular the boots are on the reservation. And lots of water, and then some household supplies, including blankets and linens and towels. Lots of things that are given to us that we're able to pass on to the reservation and bless the people with those items. Now, as I was driving, I was thinking about that water. And you've heard me say before on these videos that we at Pacific Northwest Outreach, we combine the physical with the spiritual. And as I was driving with all of that water, I couldn't help but think of that passage in St. John's Gospel, chapter 4, where Jesus came to a woman one day who was at a water well. It was in a little community called Samaria. And Jesus said, "Could you give me a drink?" And she said, "Well, yes, but you're a Jew and I'm a Samaritan woman, and I'm not even supposed to be talking to you." But Jesus used that example, which he did so frequently, and he took the physical and he turned it to the spiritual. And he said, if you drink of this water, you'll be thirsty again. But if you take the water that I give to you, you will have everlasting life. And so Jesus taught that principle, and he helped that woman just as we're helping the Nez Perce now. Thanks for listening today, and the credits that will be on the end of this video will give you an opportunity to make contact with us. We'd love to hear from you. God bless you.
You've been listening to Pacific Northwest Outreach with Rick McPherson. We're dedicated to working hand in hand with Native Americans on reservations throughout the United States, showing them God's love, acceptance, and forgiveness. Your prayers and financial support are greatly appreciated.